Welcome back to the channel, boys. Fablinsky's coming at your neck with this Solar Titan Elemental Well build. Now with this build, it's what you expect. We're doing some ability spam, we're getting some weapon damage buffs, and there's also a hint, just a little bit of support because we're using Phoenix Cradle. But before I get into it, I just kind of want to give you guys a little update about what's going on in my life. So as you guys can probably tell, I haven't uploaded in a while. There's been a lot of things I've been trying to work on with myself, and I've just been trying to like, how can I put this? I feel like for the last year, I've been really focusing on YouTube, right? I've been really trying to make it work because I honestly really want this to work for myself. But in doing that, I feel like I've been neglecting some of the other things in my life, such as friendships, relationships, just like, you know, trying to grow as a person. And I feel like it just kind of all hit me at once. It's like, yeah, I've been making, you know, great content on YouTube, and I've seen the success. I've gotten videos that have lots of views, at least for me, have lots of views. But I feel like some of the other things, I don't really know that many people, and I don't have that many relationships, not just like, you know, girlfriend relationships, just relationships with people in general. I'm trying to grow that part of my life. So it's kind of like, it just kind of hit me, and I've been feeling like a little burnt out, not of the game, not of like, you know, not of Destiny. I don't think, you know, this is not really affected by it, but I feel like I've just been burnt out on just playing video games in general. Because like I said, the last year I've just been focusing so much on YouTube. So I kind of had to take a step back for a little. And you know, there's some other things that have been going on. I got a nice tattoo recently. I put a post on it. Actually, I'll show you guys in another post once it's complete. It's still work in progress. I got to do some more coloring here and there. Let me just tell you though, it is the worst pain, like the most painful experience I've ever been through. It hurts so bad, but it's coming out really nice. It's still healing. So once it's all healed up and all the colors there, I will definitely show you guys. But all right, let's get right into this build. So for my subclass of choice, you're using Biometry Sunbreaker. This is probably right there, one of my favorite subclasses in the game. Definitely my favorite Titan subclass. Actually, I really do like Behemoth now that we got the How of the Storm aspect. I would say it's right there with Behemoth, but if it's up there for one of my subclasses in the game. Personally, I love making sunspots. I love the hammers. It's so cool. You have self-sustain from getting solar ability kills. It's just a great subclass in general. Now for my loadout of choice, you can use whatever you want for your kinetic slot. I'm using Extraordinary Rendition. I have Overflow Frenzy. I personally think for this build it's very important to have a weapon with Frenzy, but if you don't have one, or if you don't like Frenzy, which I don't know why you wouldn't, you don't have to. That's just me for my personal choice. But honestly, you really want to use Salvage or Salvo for this build because Demolitionist Chain Reaction is going to give you so much ad clear, so much grenade energy back, and we want to spawn those elemental wells. So having Demolitionist on a weapon, especially a grenade launcher like this, is very important. And you're heavy, you can use whatever you want. I just like Cold Duello, auto loading cluster bomb. As for my stats, we got 36 mobility, doesn't matter. We got 52 resilience. I feel like this is a nice point right here at 52 resilience because then I can have some other stats pretty high. So I think this is a good area for my resilience. We have 44 recovery, but I am able to regenerate some health from getting solar ability kills. Now we have 103 discipline. This is where my ability span is going to come in. This is how I'm going to generate all these elemental wells. Plus I have a demolition as weapon. And then we got 24 intellect. I have fonts of wisdom on, so this is going to be much higher. And then we have 24 strength. As for my helmet, we got grenade launcher ammo finder because I'm using salvage or salvo. That's going to be my main weapon that I'm going to be using all the time. We got ashes to assets. Now, since I'm going to have a lot of grenade spam, I want to be able to get my super back as much as I can. Figured I would throw this one on there. I already got my grenade launcher ammo finder, and my weapon has overflow, my extraordinary rendition. So this is going to allow me to proc overflow as much as possible, or more than, you know, usual. And then we got firepower. While charged with light, regain a portion of your grenade energy when you use your grenade, consuming 1 stack of charge of light. On my gauntlets, we got momentum transfer. Causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown. I do have rather low strength. I can show you guys right here in the bottom right. 24 strength, so this is one way that I'm going to make up for that. We got grenade launcher loader, and then we got elemental charge. You become charged with light by picking up an elemental well. If the elemental well element type matches your subclass element, it's like a tongue twister right there, you gain 2 stacks of charge with light. So since I'm going to be creating so many solar elemental wells with my grenades, I'm using a solar subclass. I pick that up, I get 2 stacks of charge with light, which is going to allow me to use firepower. On my chest piece, we got a discipline mod. We got melee damage resist, concussive dampener. You can use whatever you want here if you want to throw in like solar or sniper, whatever you want. And then we have firepower again. They do stacks, and now I get even more grenade energy in return. And for my leg piece, we're using Phoenix Cradle, which is also my exotic piece of choice. This exotic, in my opinion, is one of the best in the game, especially for the Titan. It's one of the best Titan exotics. It's very simple, but it's so effective. So the armor perk that you get is Beacons of Empowerment. Sun Warrior lasts twice as long. Allies who pass through your sunspots are also granted Sun Warrior. Now, in case you guys don't know what Sun Warrior is, we'll go over it really quick. Sun Warrior, passing through a sunspot causes your grenade and melee abilities to recharge faster, and your super lasts longer. It also increases the damage your weapon deals. I think it's like a 20 or 25% weapon damage buff, and you get your abilities back faster. So having that on the base timer for Sun Warrior is 5 seconds. So with Phoenix Cradle, it's 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds of increased ability regen, and you get your super to last longer, and your weapon deals bonus damage. Now, the fact that your teammates can also get this as well is where the little bit of support aspect comes in, because you're gonna have your teammates get their abilities back faster, and they're gonna do more weapon damage, and then you yourself, of course, you're getting all that ability spam as well. It is a fantastic perk, a great perk to give to your teammates. So back to the exotic, we're using a discipline mod as well. We got Absolution, reduce all ability cooldowns each time you pick up an orb of power. All my weapons are masterwork, so we're gonna generate a lot of orbs of power. And then we got Elemental Ordnance, defeating combatant with a grenade spawns an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type. I'm gonna have tons and tons of grenades with the demolitionist weapon, 100 discipline, sunspots, and all that. So having this is going to allow me to generate those elemental wells. And on my Titan mark, we're using a minor resilience mod. We got double bomber mod, so whenever I use my barricade, I get a nice little chunk of grenade energy, just in case I'm not able to get kills, or if I'm out of, salvage or salvo ammo, whatever it is, I can just pop my barricade and get some nice grenade energy. And then we got Fonts of Wisdom, picking up elemental well that matches your subclass energy type, grants you a temporary significant increase in your intellect, improving the recharge rate of your super. So I think it gives you like plus 50 intellect. So even though it says I have 24, what is that, 74 intellect just for picking up an elemental well, and it lasts for like 30 seconds. If I can keep chaining that together and keep it going, I can pretty much have a permanent 74 intellect stat just with this mod. And for my Titan fashion, I went for just a simple black and red look with carbon blood. I believe this is carbon blood on everything, so it looks really nice. I really like this helmet, and I like how it's like black and gray over here, but then the red like really stands out. This is a fantastic shader. So if you guys like this, well, it's carbon blood, but shaders will be in the description anyway. So what can I really say about this build? I mean, it works exactly how you would think. You got grenade spam, you got melee spam, you got not super spam, but you can have your super pretty often if you're generating orbs of power, picking up those elemental wells, that way you can get Font of Wisdom going, and pretty much just getting grenade kills because of ashes to assets. This build, I wouldn't say it has everything. Well, actually, I don't know. Does it have everything? Because sunspots are phenomenal. You're getting the weapon damage buff. You're getting ability spam. Plus, they just do damage to enemies. So if you create a lot where a lot of enemies spawn, they're just gonna burn and die. You can support your teammates because you have Phoenix Cradle, and anytime you create a sunspot, your teammates walk through it. They get Sun Warrior, which means that they're gonna get their abilities back faster. They get a weapon damage buff. So I don't know. Does this build have everything? I mean, the super isn't a DPS like boss super, like boss super, but it has extremely good ad clear, and with Font of Wisdom you can have it up pretty frequently. So does this build have everything? I would actually say yes. I think this build is pretty solid. I would take this build into the Nightfall if I needed to. I would take it into any other activity where like the battlegrounds or anything else. I would take in their Gambit. PvP, I don't make PvP builds, so you can forget about that. But Gambit, anything PvE related, I would take this build into, because you have Salvage or Salvo, which is a phenomenal ad clear weapon. Overflow Frenzy on my Extraordinary Rendition, or you can have whatever weapon you want, but it is a great perk combination. And you got your Heavy, which I'm just using the rocket launchers. Rocket launchers are crazy. So yeah, I would say you can take this build into almost anything PvE related. GMs, it's kind of tough, because I think you'd rather have like a middle tree, like the banner shield or whatever, or even Behemoth, because freezing enemies is just super powerful. You might be able to get away with this build in GMs, but I think that being able to freeze or having banner shield might just be a little bit more valuable for your team, especially with Ursa Furiosa. You can have almost your banner shield pretty much for almost every engagement. So I think for that one, I'd rather pick that. But still, don't sleep on Sun Warrior, don't sleep on Phoenix Cradle. This is a fantastic build for anything PvE related, so definitely try it out and let me know what you guys think. But if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. It truly helps me out a lot. You can also check out my other videos, links are in the description below. I have a lot of crazy builds, so go ahead and check that out. And you might as well follow my social media. I have a Twitter and an Instagram, both at fat_Bloonskis. But with all that being said, deuces.